Welcome to the iRonik show clips. To get deep insights in quick time, subscribe to the channel now. Let's get into what kind of hair conditions do you normally see. So, hair loss is one, hair thinning is one, you have receding hairline. So, what exactly is the difference between all these issues, and is there anything else that I'm missing out?
Yes. So there are very basic core differences in all these things. What we usually do is we irreplaceably use hair fall and hair
Yeah,
loss.
yeah.
So let us define it a very general manner. Hair fall is when your hair just falls off, but a new hair grows at that place. That is
Hmm.
what we call as hair fall. But hair loss is when the hair falls and there's no new hair growing at that place. That is what is hair loss. And that is why the number of hair in hair loss start reducing on your scalp. But in case of hair fall, that is very temporary or semi-temporary, I would say,
Hmm.
depending upon the conditions you're facing. But that hair is usually growing back again. And that is what the basic difference between these two categories is. Now, there are plenty of cases that we daily receive. Now, if you actually divide them, they can be divided as only hair fall and hair loss. There are plenty of other conditions which can be subcategorized between these two major headings. So,
Okay,
hair thinning is the start of hair loss. Or sometimes,
okay.
some minor times, it can be a symptom of deficiencies or some ill effects of certain other diseases in your body. But it entirely depends upon your predispositions, whether this hair thinning will fall under a hair fall category or a hair loss category. Now, there are other types of hair losses also, like traction alopecia, you might have heard about. Now, just to clear the audience, alopecia is a medical term used for hair loss.
Hmm.
ठीक है. So when a hair is lost medically, it is known as an alopecia. So now whatever names I'm going to take,
Hmm.
it will have an alopecia in it because obviously it is hair loss. Sorry. So now there are different types of hair falls and hair losses. Now hair losses can be alopecia areata, where a particular patch develops over your scalp, like sudden loss of hair in that particular patch happens. It is an autoimmune condition, just like thyroid or PCOS. It is an autoimmune condition that can happen suddenly. Obviously, when you are predisposed to it, and sometimes due to some other reasons also it may happen. Second thing is traction alopecia. Now, as we always see in our families, the older generation, they always, females specifically, they always tie their hair back. So the
Right.
thing is, their hair is always under pressure in this area when you tie your hair back.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
So what happens? Ki the hair roots start losing their grips, and ultimately the hairline starts receding. So that is traction
Yeah.
alopecia. The third category, and which many people are concerned about nowadays, is androgenic alopecia. That is male pattern hair loss or a female pattern hair loss. So that is what typically we always majorly see. I would say कि my hairline is receding. यहाँ से मेरा
Hmm.
बाल जा रहा है. एकदम सब तरफ से ही जाने लग गया. These are different patterns of hair losses. Whereas if we consider hair fall can be due to many reasons. First thing is deficiencies in your body. Now, if you are a vegetarian, you are more prone to have B12 deficiency. B12 has impact on iron carrying capacity, and that is why your hair can be falling. Sometimes, due to nowadays sedentary lifestyle, the vitamin D exposure is less. So, vitamin D deficiency can also lead to hair fall. Pregnancy is one of the major factors, post which females start losing hair fall. Menopause, hair fall is there. If you are ill for some time, let's say if a person gets a typhoid, malaria, or dengue type of fever, which is considered as a major thing for a body, then also there's a hair fall known as telogen effluvium. So many types of hair fall or hair losses can be categorized into two different categories.
If you have to put, if I have to just put into very simple concept, now let me take an example of a tree or a plant for that matter, right?
Hmm.
So you see that sometimes the leaves of the tree, they just, because of overwatering or whatever it is, it will shed because of the maybe during this autumn or spring when they shed their leaves, right? So during particular time of the year, they will trees will shed their leaves completely, right? So that new leaves can come up.
Correct.
Is that also the reason of a hair fall? Maybe your hair is, I mean, what is hair fall? I'm trying to just, so
Acha.
that you are losing one strand of hair, so a new hair is growing out. So that is considered as hair fall.
Fall. Correct.
Okay. Now, hair loss would be something when a strand of your hair or maybe multiple strands of a hair, you lose out on suppose thousands of hair strands in that in but there is no what do you call that,
New growth.
there is no new growth.
Correct. Correct.
It could be because of your as you mentioned that various other lifestyle that we have. So the basic reason is that your roots of those have become weaker or have completely died off, so that they are not able to produce new strands of hair. Is that
Correct.
right to say?
Yes, but the reasons can vary. So the thing is,
Hmm.
hair loss has many reasons. One
Hmm.
of the major reasons that we know about is DHT, dihydrotestosterone. So you might
Okay.
remember this term from DST blockers, which many medicines come up with.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Second reasons can be some trauma to that hair, just like what I said, keep the traction alopecia.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
constant pull over that hair also loses its roots grip over the skin, and that is why it is also it gets also lost. Third reason can be some injury in that area. Ki your root
Hmm.
is damaged and now it cannot grow back.
Hmm.
So the basic reason is hair fall can be things which is a temporary thing. So once you cope up with your deficiency, once you get out of your illness and your body recovers, your hair will start growing again. But hair loss is something ki your root gets impacted. The DHT, dihydrotestosterone, has a constant impact over your hair roots. It starts thinning your roots and ultimately the root entirely goes away.
Let's speak
So,
about this DHT thing because
yes,
we are talking about male baldness. So I think
correct,
testosterone is that's what we all want. I mean, in a very simple, for our sexual health, for our reproductive health, testosterone is responsible. So
correct.
what do you mean by, I mean, is this a deficiency in testosterone? The levels go down and that causes hair fall? What it is?
So, I would explain, I usually explain this in a very simple concept.
Mm-hmm.
It is not the it is not exactly the levels of testosterone, but it is the sensitivity to testosterone. Now, just for example, there are two people
Mm-hmm.
clone of each other sitting side by side. They have
Right.
everything same. But if you pinch one person and if you pinch the other person with the same intensity, the intensity or the impact which both of them feel can be different.
Yes.
So, what happens genetically in our genes? There is some combination that predisposes our hair roots and makes them prone to this DHT, dihydrotestosterone.
Mm-hmm.
So, even if a person has higher testosterone and has no predisposition to hair thinning, will still do fine, will still have good amount of hair. But if a person has predisposition to your DHT and has even average level of testosterone, will start losing hair. So it is basically the sensitivity to the testosterone that dominates whether you're going to go bald or whether your hair will stay for a longer period of time. And that is why both males and females, although we call it as male pattern hair loss and female pattern hair loss, the
Yeah.
root cause can be this, the DHT, dihydrotestosterone impact over your hair root.
So please help me understand.
Huh.
Maybe probably I have my own doubts. So when you're talking about DST and testosterone, dihydrotestosterone, right?
Dihydrotestosterone.
Testosterone.
Correct.
So does it mean your hair fall is also somewhere proportional to your sexual health? If you're losing a lot of hair, that is somehow your sexual health is also getting impacted because of your testosterone level. I mean,
No.
in the body.
No, no, no. It is not interrelated. So
Okay.
basically, if we can very generally classify things, it is
Mm-hmm.
not only one type of testosterone that circulates in our body. So there
Right.
are different types of testosterones that circulate in our body, which are responsible for different functions in body.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
So the sexual function, the test type of testosterone which dominates the sexual function
Hmm.
depends upon the receptors that organ has. So, by that logic, like what you have
Hmm.
asked, if a person is losing hair, he might also be losing his sexual function. No, that is not true.
Okay.
His
Thank God.
sexual function can be entirely intact, but
Okay.
he can still be losing hair. Reverse is also true. Even if a
Hmm.
person
Hmm.
is having very good hair,
Hmm.
it is not a marker how his sexual life is getting impacted.
Right.
So both of them are two very different things, although they are controlled by your testosterone
Mm-hmm.
things, but both of them are different things.
I was so worried because think of a guy who is losing out on hair. He's suffering. His mental health goes down. Now
Correct.
even his sexual health goes down. What would that person do? So thank
Yes.
you for clarifying that out. If you like this clip, check out our other clips and never stop learning.